Switching to another somber topic for both of y'all. Your number two seeded Boston Celtics are down 3-1 to the Knickerbockers, and your glorious king, Big Deuce, has a ruptured Achilles.
Dude, you need to stop. But Doris said that. Doris Burke said that live, and that was starting to trend on Twitter.
Well,
Uh,
LeBron tweeted out, "Rest up, Big Deuce," which again, nobody calls him that. So,
Yeah. Yes.
um, Caleb, what
well,
was your initial
apparently,
reaction to your savior Celtics
Apparently,
man
your
so
king
tearing
calls
his
him Big
Achilles?
Deuce.
I just want to say first and foremost, only my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is my Savior. I want to
I
say
didn't
that.
say you. I
Um,
said Kyle.
oh, well, Kyle asked me a question, so but we're just gonna roll with it. Um, I was just completely and totally and utterly devastated. Uh, just stricken with grief, Kyle.
All right, bro.
The
Yeah.
likes of which has never been seen before. Okay, um, when I tell you, it was just darkness.
When you say live in the darkness every day, let me calm down. Go
Like,
ahead, elaborate.
bro,
Is that another cry for help?
Yo, that was not a listen.
yeah.
Elaborate more. What? Because
It was just utter and total despair. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you. I just
Well, you seem pretty
I
happy
saw
for a guy whose season
I
just
saw
ended, but
listen. This is
it's
how I
called
cope.
laughing through the pain.
This
Exactly.
that's how I cope with sadness, Kyle. I laugh. Okay. If you have a
okay.
problem with it, take it up with someone
You
else.
sound like you're crying for help.
Listen, listen. I laugh through everything. Um, it's one of the best coping mechanisms there is. And, you're just gonna have to deal with it. You have to suck it up and move on,
Did you feel like he
unfortunately.
tore it immediately when you saw it, or did you have hope?
I had hope, but
Yeah.
when normally when you see it's a no contact injury like that, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be an Achilles tear. It just happens that way. Like
Exactly.
they they say it feels like someone hit you when you tear it,
Yeah,
and that's
kicking
just
your
how it
back
feels.
in
Like you got it kicked in the back of
heel.
your heel or your shin or whatever. Not your shin, but your lower
That
extremities.
your heel, yeah,
Right.
or
And
literally your Achilles.
but you know, we probably won't see this Boston team gathered again. Um, it was probably Big Al's last year, so it's kind of sad too. But it is what it is. You got to move on. And
Um,
Jalen Brown, you've been playing like a bum. Get it together.
But we can get into that momentarily,
yeah, we will.
Mister One Arm Bandit himself.
Oh, I think I
He'd
was
be
watching the
perfect in the
entire.
'90s. He can only go in one direction.
I was watching the entire game, and Tatum was like him and Derek White would seem to be the only ones that actually wanted to win or like trying to win. Um,
At least in the first half.
like I said, no, well Tatum in the second half. If you're talking about Derek White, sure. When he went down, the camera switched so fast, so you really couldn't see what happened. Um, but once I saw he was still on the ground and like he kept slamming his leg on the ground and then he put his face in the ground and looked like he started crying, I was like, oh, this seems worse than it is, right? So then they showed a replay and then I just froze. Um, I actually went to go take a quick walk because I couldn't
Okay, yeah, all right.
there was no way of me to process what was actually no, I'm being dead serious, to process what was actually happening, right? We're talking about a guy who he's never had a serious injury, and a tweak
Yeah,
ankle
that's
here and there,
true.
whatever, and you might miss a game or two. It's never out for an extended period of time. It just seemed like all hope was lost. I'm being dead serious. Like I was just sitting here, like you could barely move. You knew what it was. You was waiting on Shams, Beef Salami, whatever his name is, to put out the tweet all day long, and they kept waiting, kept waiting, kept waiting. They said he
Because that
already
boy
had
went
this.
straight into surgery. That's
Yeah,
why.
they it sounds like they just took him straight out of the arena and put him in a hospital. Uh,
They're trying to maximize that comeback time. Not
right.
a second to waste.
So he has surgery already. That it's just very sad. It's very unfortunate. Like Kayla said, this might be the last time that we see that core
No, not
together.
might. This
Oh
is the
no, it
last time.
is.
I'm telling
Okay,
you,
yes,
they got to
it
get rid
is.
of it.
Um,
They got to do
and
some
yeah,
retooling.
that's the reaction to it. Now the game, we can get into that. You can give your reaction to the injury, but the game, we can get into that after an individual
I was out.
people.
I was out watching the game. Um, First of all, that game was extremely physical, which I mean, I like that anyway, because I mean, I feel like playoff series in past, like as in like last year and the year before, like the refs were too involved in series. But now they letting them play for real, so I respect that. But yeah, when I seen it, obviously, like I mean, the game was trending towards getting out of hand and out of reach.
Yeah,
But I was like, oh, okay. Of course, when you see non-contact, you're like, well, worst case scenario because that's typically how it goes. Then they did the worst thing, wheelchairing him
I don't
out.
know why they put that on the thing, man. Y'all trying to ruin this man's
Like this
reputation.
dude already is one of the most hated on players in the league, and like let's recreate the Paul Pierce meme. Like, all right, well, okay. And sure enough, 2 seconds
And
later
he
on Twitter, I was like,
exactly
well,
the dude said he can't even
um,
copy Paul Pierce correctly. I'm like, are we being for real? Like, come
yeah.
on, dude.
It sucks though. I mean, I hate on him because I mean he's easy to hate on. He's a light skin and he wants attention so
Are
bad.
you a
But
colorist?
We at the AreYouNutzz pod are not,
We do not discriminate. We do not
we do not
discriminate against
discriminate in
skin
any
color.
form or fashion. We aren't colorist over here. We love
y'all
all black
sound
people.
real
We love all black
okay.
people, no matter what shit they come in.
He's a typical light skin who's like, I just people don't talk about me enough, and it's like, okay, but we had a whole topic about this however many episodes ago, so I don't know what you
No,
guys were saying.
you guys talked about that, but go ahead.
Caleb literally said, "Yeah, Tatum cries a lot. We can pull up the video, bro. He
But
was
I
on our
didn't
side.
say. Did I? But did I say? Oh, all light skinned people are just soft and
I
whiny.
didn't say
Did I
that.
say
I
that?
didn't say
No.
that. I
You said,
definitely didn't say
oh,
all light skin. I
you
said
said
Jason
just now.
Tatum, the light
You said
skin,
you
the
said
light
he's a
skin,
typical light skin. That's what you said. Meaning what, Kyle?
a typical light skin.
No, that means that
What are you
you're
inferring to?
generalizing a
What are
whole
you
group of
inferring,
people.
Kyle?
Hmm?
What are you inferring?
Stereotypes write themselves. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So anyway, uh,
Okay.
so yeah, that happened. I'm like, well, geez, and then I immediately think about, well, Porzingis is already not going to be there next year. Although I would love to know who's going to take that contract off their hands with this mystery illness that he's had for the past
I'm talking
Two
about
2 months.
Yeah,
Like, what?
yeah.
No one knows what's wrong with this guy. So like, I'm looking at their payroll right now.
Brad
He got
Stevens will
paid
find a way.
30 million this year. He's due 30 million next year. If they can't figure out what this mystery illness is in the offseason, that's a risky
I
move,
feel like they
brother.
already know, and they're not saying what it is. Like they're not releasing it. I don't know
Well,
why.
then they need to be fined as a
Because
team because
they're trying to maximize his
Somebody
TAM,
said that
like
they think
we
that
need to
he
be
his
fined.
has.
trade value.
Someone said that they
You
think
need to
that
be
he
fined.
has magic.
All right,
Again, we
as
here
we
at the
as we
AreYouNutzz pod did
refuse.
not subscribe to any hate speech
Yeah,
whatsoever.
as we
We don't
refuse to move
spread
forward with
slander.
any speculation as to what Chris Porzingis has and the Boston Celtics moving forward, Drew Holiday is owed an average of about 34 million for the next 3 years
No.
after this year's, with a $37 million player option in 2027. So they're gonna have to move off of that because that contract is egregious. Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't even realize he was making that. Derek White is making 28 million
he's
next
making
year
more than
and
Derek
30
White.
million the year after. I mean, I guess you can't move off of Derek White, but
No, he's
that
an
team, as
untouchable.
far as the core itself, Horford's probably going to be gone.
Okay, you
Porzingis will probably
Glazer.
be gone. Holiday will probably be gone. Obviously, Tatum's not going to be in next year. What does the Celtics season look like next year? Would you guys want? I mean, you can't. Well, the payroll is still going to be extremely high, so you can't tank per se. But are you guys okay with a 6 to 7 seed finish and
You
maybe
could
a
definitely
fight for a
tank.
play in?
I wouldn't be
No,
mad with tanking.
I would tank. I'm being dead serious.
And
I
see,
wouldn't be
that's
mad.
your problem right now. That's the problem with the league.
It
No, listen.
because it's because of
I have a
this second
basketball
apron
mindset,
thing
Kyle.
makes everything so difficult when it comes to money. Okay, obviously the
That
cap
too.
goes up every year and whatever, but it just makes it difficult. So the
So
people
you
that
go
you said
from
right,
title contender one year to tanking the next year.
and then we're going to be right back in title contention the next
Exactly.
year.
Like
You
I
got to
hope
think
y'all
long
get.
term with
I
this.
literally hope.
that
I hope
happened.
y'all get fined to oblivion.
You
Okay.
fine for what?
You said you move off of Drew Holiday. You move off of Kristaps. If Horford said he wanted to come back, but I think this whole JT thing just derails that entire thing. Like, oh, you
Well,
just
they need
un-
players now. So I mean,
right. So I think you try to get assets, or you trade for people. You try to get assets. I think you just get draft picks.
I think
I
you
don't. I
march
don't.
out the main red claws, and you just go out there and try and get the best available pick. Maybe you get AJ DeBenta, we don't know who, or Koa Pete or somebody like that, and we see where we go from there.
Get a real star that you can put next, or a potential star that you could put next to JT.
Hey,
You understand what
AJ
I'm saying?
DeBenta, you're already from what is
bro,
it? I think
what
he's from
did you just say?
Massachusetts.
Put a real star next to JT.
No, I'm saying I said a potential star
Well,
next to JT. That's what I said.
They're gonna move
Potential.
off of They're gonna move off of Jalen Brown.
You have one making $50 million next year.
They're
53
gonna
Kyle,
actually.
Kyle,
they're
do
going
you
to move off
honestly
of
think,
Jalen
as
Brown.
smart as Brad Stevens has been, do you think that he's
I
going
think
to
they're gonna
keep
move
both
off
of
of
them on the
Jalen Brown.
payroll for that entire time? You
I
don't
think
believe
he's.
that.
I think
Well,
he's
so
gonna
you
take.
matter of
No,
fact,
no.
but
matter of
you're saying the move's gonna happen next year. Like,
You said you want to talk about Jaylen Brown, so let's talk about him now. Do you honestly think that Brad Stevens, after the performance that I'm seeing right now, and mind you, let's not forget that he did have the knee injury and they shot up his knee before the playoffs started, but he's
okay,
playing, right? And my
okay.
motto has always been, if you're playing, you're not hurt. I don't care. You're playing, okay? So you could have
Oh,
gave, that's
oh,
always
all
my
right.
motto. You can give me, they said he has more turnovers than something. I think it's like made field goal basket. It's something like that in the entire series,
Ethan,
right?
answer me this question.
What?
They are moving off of Jalen Brown next year.
I would
not
not be
next year.
so.
The
I
year
would.
after.
Yes, I would agree. And if
All
if
right.
it if it were to happen this offseason, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'm being dead serious. Would I be sad? I'd be torn. But I want this. I want y'all to. And I wish. Oh my goodness! I
The
wish Unc was
Finals
here.
MVP.
Yes, I want
Bro,
Unc to be here. I
okay.
want y'all to realize that when I said the weeks ago, when I said that Tatum is the best player. Oh well, Brown won. Y'all are about to see, like, y'all don't, you don't have confidence. If Brown went down, y'all would still be like, oh, there might be a chance. There's no way you
Like
can look at.
I just
No,
feel
no, no,
like
no,
there's
no.
no
Let me finish.
Tatum
Let me
slander
finish,
for them
please.
being down 3-1 in this
There
series,
is,
bro.
well, there's not going to be any Tatum slander, but I'm saying you
Why
cannot look at
not?
me.
Why not?
You cannot look at the camera and tell me that if Jaylen Brown went down instead of Tatum, or not even that.
Well,
Fuck that.
because
You cannot look at me in the camera and say that
this
Tatum went down,
playoffs.
right? You cannot look at me and tell me that Brown, you're going to give the Celtics a chance to win Game 5 with Jaylen Brown as the main leader. You cannot look at the camera and tell me that right
So
now.
Ethan,
And
what did Jayson Tatum do the first two games for them to go down 0-2 in the
Bro,
series?
but
he
Brown
didn't
and
play.
Brown has been just as bad, if not worse,
No,
than
that's fine.
Tatum
No,
this
that's fine. Like
playoffs.
I'm not absolving Jalen Brown right now, but y'all make it look like I like just I'm like a Brown Glazer because y'all put no penalty on the best player
No,
on the
because
team.
you keep saying, he's not the best player on the team. Stop the
Jason
foolishness.
Tatum. No, I'm saying you guys.
Oh, 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 oh,
There's
oh.
no discourse for Jason Tatum.
No.
You
Oh,
just said
So
listen,
there was. You just said there would be no Jason Tatum slander. You just said that.
So you acknowledge him as the best player, but you didn't
that's
last
what he
week.
just said. No, of course he did.
That's
No,
what I just
dude,
heard.
like obviously we know he's the best player, but
So
Jalen
why
Brown
would
is
you
the Finals
say
MVP.
Stop.
he's a
No,
hater.
but you said
He's a
Jalen
hater.
Brown
That's
is the
why.
best player.
That's why. He's
But
a hater.
you know what? Let's move off that.
I didn't know. Jason
Yes,
Tatum's
you
obviously
did.
the best
Yes,
player,
you
but
did.
let's go ahead and talk about the Jason Tatum
So
slander because I still have yet
let's
to
get
hear
onto
that.
it. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm not. I go take back my statement where I say he deserves no slander because they were down 0-2, right? They come back 2-1. This game right here, they were down 5 when he blew his Achilles, and then they went down 7.
They
Obviously,
were
from the
actually
dunk.
down 9, but go ahead.
I need you to fact check that, but okay.
This I did to the earlier today.
I still don't necessarily think that was out of reach. I understand that New York had a lot of momentum and stuff like that, and I'm not taking away from New York because New York's done what they've done literally all series long, except Game 3. They keep coming back from these big
Well,
deficits that the
yeah,
Celtics
that's
are
my
blowing
thing.
in 2023. So,
Yep.
listen, he definitely deserves some. Especially, I told y'all this in the group chat. Well, I don't know if I told you.
No, he's
Yes,
the
I
best
did.
player on the team. He
I did.
deserves most of the blame.
I said in the group chat, you are 6'10", okay? You are 6'10", maybe 220, 240, I don't know wherever he's at, okay? Whatever his weight is. You are 6'10". You have all the skills in the world to drive to the basket, do sauce, whatever. Why? And I don't. And I see a lot of people blaming Joe Mazzulla. Oh, Joe Mazzulla should be fired, and this,
that's
that, and
never
next,
been
whatever it
his
is,
game.
right?
If you watch him since Duke, you know that's never really been his game. But
No,
okay.
I understand that. Everyone's saying, fire Joe Mazzulla and all this stuff like that, whatever it is. I listen. You can't. I understand that he needs to make adjustments, and I don't think that he's made the necessary adjustments that need to be made, especially when they're going on runs. It's unfortunate. There were so many times in this game where Tatum came out the game, they were up like 14-15, and then New York goes on a 7-0 run. He comes in the game, they extend the lead, he comes out, and then they go like on another 8-0 run. It's like, bro, is there any type of off? Is there anything that's happening with this man not on the court? I looked at a stat of the on-off differential, whatever it is. Tatum was number one when he's not on the court. I think it's 23 points. It said so when he's on the court, whatever it is, it was like number one in the NBA, which is terrible for everybody else. Even though they considered
It sounds like we're glazing again.
what the second, third. No, listen. I gave the proper slander. He didn't play well.
Ethan gave this dude 2 sentences of slander and said that's enough. See, that's the problem.
No.
And I'm not gonna let you get away with it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take over.
I
Go
don't
ahead. I'm gonna
think
let you finish.
Tatum
Go
has
ahead. I'll let you
had.
finish.
I don't think he's had very inconsistent series. I don't understand what flips from regular season Tatum to playoff Tatum, where you go from this great regular season player to this. You're shooting 30% for the field.
You want to know what it is? I can
Yeah.
tell you.
It's
What
different
is it?
in the
Clutch
7-game
factor
series.
in Gene, because
Yeah,
that's
so-
literally playoffs
Okay,
makes
that's fine.
that's what makes all-time
It
greats.
defines legacies. Yes,
James
that's fine.
Harden will be known
two-
as a career
you
playoff
two
choker,
sound-
someone who is one of the greatest regular season players to ever touch a basketball. Can't do jack squat in the playoffs. That's how he'll go down in history. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
That's just what
That's
it
fair.
is.
That's
Caleb,
fair.
tell me I'm lying. Say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, what were you about to say about the clutch Gene thing? Because that's you about to respond to that.
James Harden
want-
at 28,
listen,
James Harden at 38, still choking game sevens. Come on, bro.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Game 6 against the
Man.
Warriors. I have to. I
That's
don't
one
want to
game,
be.
Caleb.
I don't
He
want
been
to be a
in- how
James
long
Harden
James Harden been in the
defender.
league?
I don't
How
want
long
to be a
James
James
Harden been
Harden
in the
defender.
league?
But I
Caleb,
still
Caleb,
remember
close
in
out.
20. Hold on. I still remember in 2018 him coming down tween step back right over two people.
Now you're giving me one
What are
play.
we talking about?
Now you're giving me one play in
You
one
talking
game.
about clutch
Caleb,
factor?
was that not regular
Listen,
season? Why are we bringing up regular?
No, that was in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
So Caleb,
Caleb,
so what
remember.
about Caleb? What about the other 10
But
years
anyway,
of playoff runs?
But anyway,
what about the
look,
other?
that's
10
why I
years?
said I don't want to
gotta
be.
stop.
I don't. That's why. Again, that's why I just said I don't want to be a James Harden defender.
Yeah,
So I'm not
that
gonna
don't
be a
even
James
count
Harden
as defending
defender.
him. But back
Exactly.
to Tatum. Let's focus on Tatum and the player at
But-
hand, the best player on his team, the guy who you like. Don't mention Jaylen Brown's Finals MVP, although he went out and won it because he played better than Tatum
But
last
Kyle,
year in the
you
finals.
still could you
All right?
admit that Tatum was
Jayson
playing well in
Tatum-
this game? Like the only reason why they were up and winning at
Like,
that point was because of him.
Well, Ethan, again, this is one game out of 3, which
He's able,
again,
but he's able to do that because defense is keying on him. They don't key in on Brown as much. And yes, Brown is better defensively than Tatum. Especially
Tatum
when it comes
played a
to
phenomenal
grit.
defense in game
But-
four,
okay.
though.
So
But
when they're getting
definitely
these switches, go ahead.
But definitely offensively, right? His game has always been
He's not a
looked at as more
playmaker.
What are you talking about?
For I'm talking about
Who?
Jaylen Brown for other people.
I was
He's
about
not
to
an
say now.
excellent play.
I
I
was
know
about to
Tatum is a
say.
playmaker. Don't do that. Come on now. Jaylen Brown is not an excellent, but he's not even close to as good as a playmaker as Jayson Tatum is. That's just a fact.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is they gave the Finals MVP to a man who can't go left. So, like that doesn't.
That says something. That says something for a man who
that
can't go
doesn't-
left and he
that-
still couldn't win the
that-
Finals MVP over him. That says a lot.
Yeah, he couldn't go left, and look how he shot last night.
Okay, well, he couldn't go left.
He
one
couldn't.
time
He
MVP,
couldn't.
and-
He can't go left, and he can barely dribble. He's getting ripped every play by OG Anunoby.
I'm sorry.
Who
He
you
can't-
say was trash,
he-
Kyle? Who you said was trash?
that was
the
3
man's in
years
the
ago.
playoffs cooking. No.
That was 3 years ago.
But anyway, I'll let that one go. Anyway,
Yeah, that was a long day. That OG Anunoby back then is not the same one as of now. Creating his own shot. All right, relax.
Listen, but I was talking about OG shooting the 3 ball, which he's been doing, pretty decent at,
Okay,
and playing
all right.
some defense. But anyway, like I was saying, right?
Hunter ain't no slouch. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
He's not.
Yeah, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
know you're not. We need to talk about it because they just lost. Hurry up, come on.
Okay.
We gonna talk
Go
about
ahead,
it.
Caleb.
We
No,
gonna
go
talk
ahead.
about
All I'm
your
gonna say
Ty
is-
Jerome too. We gonna talk about him.
all I'm gonna say
Go
is,
ahead.
Tatum is definitely overhated. The man's dropped 60 in playoff games. I've never seen Jaylen Brown do that, but okay. Um, like, what more do
He's
you
not
want
Caleb,
from?
lying.
What
oh
more do you
my.
want
Okay,
from this
Caleb,
guy?
just give me
What
your
more do you
overall
want from this
synopsis
guy?
of the end of the season.
I,
What more?
I think the
I
series
saw
is
Tatum.
over.
I saw Tatum in 20. What was it? 22, 20?
See,
No,
this
22,
goes
it was
back.
game
21.
six
It
against
was
the
See,
Bucks.
22.
see,
Game
Exactly.
six
Caleb,
against the
I've
Caleb,
seen
Bucks.
this man
you're
dragged
going
them
back
to the
four
Efers.
years ago.
I'm
Here we go.
But
I
we're
would
talking
love.
about
We're
legacy
talking
though.
about
Those
Oh no, I'm
moments
not. No, I'm
matter.
not. I'm talking about this
No,
series. I'm talking right here about this series, right here,
you just
right?
said
but you didn't bring up legacy. You
you
said
just
that the
said
clutch
Because
clutch
G.
G.
we're talking about a minute point, but I'm like here in this video and here right now, we're talking about this series and where it was going, regardless of if he had got hurt or not.
He's
They was
played
going to be down 3-1.
mediocre, and he
Okay,
was
well they've listen
ascending.
as a duo. They played mediocre. Brown has played mediocre. Tatum has played mediocre. What else do you want from me?
I'm talking. We're not talking about Brown. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Brown. Let's talk about the best player on the team, as we do with all the teams.
The first two games he did not play well. The
Tatum
third
has been
game he played
mediocre.
well. The fourth
Ta-
game he was playing
Tatum,
excellent. Blew his Achilles. The series is
Tatum
over. Okay, let's
overall
move on to
Tatum
next
played
year. I don't even want to talk about next year. Let's move on to 2027. Skip that.
over,
I don't even want to talk about that.
overall offensively, Tatum has played very poorly this series. But I think he's done everything at a
I say it's half and half
All
because
right.
he was redeemed.
Thank
He
you,
redeemed
Caleb, for
himself in
giving an
3 and 4.
objective. Thank you for giving an objective summary of the series to
Oh
that
my
point.
goodness.
All right, this guy got hurt in the end of the game. They blew another, and it wasn't even a big lead, but they blew another lead, gave it up. That can't keep happening. Okay, you're gonna give me a 60-point playoff thing, and I'm gonna give you them being down. What was it? What were they? Were they down 0-3 to Miami? What year was it? 0-3? Like I'll
Yeah,
bring that up. You know what I'm saying? So
2023.
we can both pick and choose pieces where this guy is in situations he shouldn't be in. All right. But we're gonna move
which
on from the Celtics and Knicks. I
okay.
will just say this: I cannot see a Knicks finals. I can't get jiggy with that. But it looks like the Knicks will be advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They will.